Hey Nash, what should we make?
Let's see what happens when Korean BBQ crashes taco night.
All right, let's make Bulgogi Nachos. Welcome back to Chaos Kitchen, where we like taking ridiculous and turning it into delicious. I love Korean barbecue, I love bulgogi, and I love nachos. So I was thinking, hey, why not combine the two, like a steak nacho kind of deal, but instead do like a bulgogi nachos. So that's the plan for today, and without further ado, let's go. So we need to thin slice some ribeye. So I have this ribeye that's just about frozen solid here. We'll try cutting this with a mandolin. Try not to cut your fingers off. And then we'll just finish thin slicing this guy with a knife. You want to freeze your steak for a little bit before you do this. It just makes it easier to cut it nice and thin. That'll do, pig. That'll do. So first we got to make our bulgogi marinade. I'm going to make one that's loosely based on our friend Chef Brian Tsau's recipe, the one that he used in his recipe with his bulgogi tacos recipe that he beat Bobby Flay with. So we start with an onion. Just gonna rough chop this because we're gonna blend everything. So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to dice it or anything like that. And then you would want an Asian pear. I couldn't find an Asian pear. You can use a gala apple in place of an Asian pear. It's not as good, don't get me wrong. The pear has some more meat tenderizing qualities, but flavor-wise, it's gonna be kind of similar in a pinch. And we're gonna add, there's some pineapple aspect to this that is gonna help with that tenderizing. Then we add one pineapple. Let's get that all squished in there. So one pineapple, or I just honestly used, I had cans of pineapple, so I just used the 1 can worth of pineapple. I didn't include the juice. About a dozen cloves of garlic peeled, a cup and a half of soy sauce. This isn't gonna work. All right, I need a bigger blender.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I don't have a bigger blender, so we're gonna do this in batches. All right, we'll just pretend that we're doing this all in one batch. So then we want a cup of red wine, a 1/4 cup of sesame oil, about 2 tablespoons of gochujang. It's a Korean fermented red pepper paste. It's quite delicious. If you haven't tried it, go get you some. If they don't have it at the store, they probably have it at the store. If they don't have it at your store, go order on Amazon. And just a little bit of black pepper. And just because I'm gonna add some pixie dust. So I'm gonna blend this in batches, but let's just pretend everything is in here. Go ahead and put your blade lid on, put our guy on the base, and we blend. And there we have it. You can see that made almost 2 quarts. So you could easily cut this in half, but we're gonna reduce some of this and turn it into like a sauce. So are we though? So you can easily cut this recipe in half because this is way more than we're gonna need. So I'm gonna put some of this away. And then we're gonna take our thin sliced ribeye and add the marinade to our meat. Your meat doesn't need to be swimming, you just need enough to cover everything. So you could even use less than I just used here. Then you wanna seal this guy up, then give him a little massage, make sure all of your little slices of beef are nice and covered. And then we throw this in the fridge and let it marinate for at least a few hours. Overnight is best. So then on to the chips. I figured since we're going with bulgogi, we should make the chips out of wonton wrappers. So we're gonna take these guys a few at a time, and we're just gonna cut them in half to make little triangles. Then I've watched a bunch of videos on how to cook these or how to fry these to make the perfect golden brown chips. Apparently heating up some oil on medium low is the way to go, so we're gonna give that a try, and it might fail miserably, but hopefully not. So we're just gonna throw these guys in there. Just like anything we fry, we don't wanna crowd the pan.
Were you really just about to try and flip those by hand?
I don't want these guys to stick to each other. Do we flip them? I don't know how this works. And if I take this guy out, and so on medium low, this is what we got. They're not really golden brown, but they look like they might actually work. So I'm gonna let these guys dry out a little bit, and then we'll see. So here's one of our guys. Let's do the, just like a chip. Let me try. You hear that? I had my doubts, but looks like we got a winner. So medium low, takes about a minute, pretty easy. And then we just wash, rinse, and repeat with all our guys. I don't know if the flip is actually necessary, but we're doing it anyways. It's kind of cool, they kind of sink and then they float up to the top once they start to get crispy. So I think we're onto something here.
Wow, you figured out how to fry chips. Aren't you a trailblazer?
So I guess the moral of the story is fry them a little bit lower than you would think you probably should. And here's what we got. Those are our guys, looking pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself.
That must be a pretty low bar.
And then we set these aside to finish draining, cooling, whatever, all that good stuff. And since these are nachos, we need some cheese. So we're gonna grate some cheddar cheese and some Monterey Jack cheese. Then we got some green onions for garnish. I'm just gonna take the tops off and dice these. Then we're gonna make a gochujang cream sauce for the topping. So I'm gonna go in here with a little bit of sour cream. We'll call that, I don't know, 3/4 of a cup, maybe a cup. And we'll do a few tablespoons of mayonnaise and like 2 tablespoons of gochujang. And we just gotta get that all mixed up, combined. And there we go. Looks nice and pretty. And then I'm gonna attempt to transfer this to a squeeze bottle. You know what? Is this gonna work? That's not gonna work. I'm gonna thin this out with just a splash of milk. Get that all stirred in. Let's see if that works a little bit better. It ain't perfect, but it'll work. And then we clean up the horrific mess we made. Then we put our little top on there, and there we go, gochujang cream sauce. Then you wanna bring a hot pan, skillet, flat top grill, whatever you got, up to medium high to high heat. Put a little bit of neutral oil on there, let that heat up. And then I went ahead and drained and patted dry our beef because the marinade's done its thing. And we just wanna throw our guys in there. You can try to throw them in one at a time and lay them all out nice, or you can just kind of be messy about it. It doesn't really matter. And we're gonna cook these guys. They're sliced pretty thin, so we're gonna cook these guys high and fast. And we're just trying to cook them through, get a nice little sear on these guys. Should only take a couple minutes. Just move them around a little bit. As they start to sear, you want to kind of try and flip them over. We're gonna chop all this up once it's cooked, so you don't have to really worry about bigger pieces, but if you want to kind of break them up, you can. It's up to you. And then once your beef is all cooked through and it has a little bit of golden brown sear on there, we go ahead and pull all of our meat off, and we can kill the heat at the same time. Then we want to take our meat, throw it on a cutting board, and then you should probably wait till it cools off a little bit, but I'm not going to. And we're just gonna dice this up into bite-sized chunks. It doesn't have to be super fine. Then we can get this all back into the bowl. And we put all of our stuffs over here. Then we get out some sort of a sheet pan. I'm gonna put some parchment in mine because I feel like I'm gonna wanna transfer it once it's done. So I'm probably gonna have a little bit and then give the rest away. You wanna preheat your oven to 400, and then we just start making layers. It's probably not a good way to do this. I mean, there's probably a better way to do this, I think is what I was trying to say. You just sort of lay your guys out, and we give it a little bit of cheese, a little bit of our beef, and then just keep layering until you're done layering. More cheese, more meat. Build a little mountain of cheese and meats. There we go. And then we'll just do the rest of our cheese and the rest of our meat. And then we bake these guys at 400 for about 10 minutes until everything is melted. I mean, the cheese, I guess, is the only thing that's gonna melt. And here's our guys all melty. That was 10 minutes. Honestly, probably could have pulled them at like 8. So you might want to just keep an eye on them. But looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Melty, melty cheese. Little cheese pull. All right. So now I'm gonna hit these guys with a little bit of hoisin sauce. Just a little bit of sweet. And then some of our gochujang cream sauce. And then some greens for garnish. And so it's healthy. I'm gonna spin it around because I think this side looks a little prettier. Don't do that with bare hands because it's hot. And there we have our Bulgogi Nachos. And it's time for a bite. Cheers. If you like bulgogi, you like Korean barbecue, and you like nachos, this is a no-brainer. I mean, the tender bulgogi beef is freaking delicious. Then you got the crispy chip. The crispy chip, and you know, the wonton chip brings a little bit different flavor than like a tortilla chip. You got the melty cheese. You got a little bit of sweet from the hoisin, a little bit of spicy and creaminess from the gochujang cream sauce that we made. It's just freaking phenomenal. So you need to go try this, like right now, and thank me later out of 10. And hey, that's what I think, but let's see what Nash thinks. Hey bud, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Apparently crows can recognize human faces, so be nice to crows.
Well, check it out. We made these bulgogi nachos you wanted, and of course we made a dog-friendly one just for you. Well, here you go. What do you think?
That's less of a snack and more of an international peace treaty.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
You don't have to choose between your favorite things. Sometimes they belong together.
Nash approves, I approve. This one is a great fusion. You have to try it. Make it for friends, family, people coming over, game day, whatever. Go make it, because it's familiar, but it's different and it's awesome. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you all. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. And if you want to see our other cool, crazy, delicious videos, go check them out somewhere over here. And just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. Until next time, be good and peace.